Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about how to lose back fat, okay? Now that's actually three problems. Number one, we have a problem with insulin. If you've been watching my other videos, insulin is the hormone that makes the muffin top, and it can extend around the back. So that's one point. And then cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Cortisol does release insulin that's from stress, and that will also cause the muffin top around the waist. But the other one that's really common is actual atrophy of your muscles and your back. A lot of people neglect the back muscles simply because they don't see their back. They see the front. So they're doing the sit-ups and the ab workouts, but the back is just as important. So there's really key things to strengthen that back and also tone it to make sure we get rid of the atrophy, is to really get rid of that back fat. So number one, how do we get rid of insulin? There's three, called the three S's, okay? Number one, snacking. You have to stop snacking. Snacking increases insulin, and so does any eating, so you really want to do intermittent fasting, which is like eat and then don't eat for a while, and then eat and don't eat, okay? So this whole grazing thing, 5-6 small meals through the day is really bad advice, so we want to do snacking. We want to avoid snacking at all costs, and just eat 3 meals. If you want to eat and go from one meal to the next, add a little bit of healthy fat to be able to go on further. But that will put you in a fat-burning state, which you will actually then run on your body on what's called ketones and not glucose, and you'll lower the need for insulin. So this is really important. Number two, of course, the obvious, avoid sugar. I don't need to tell you that, but you probably already know that, and that's all the hidden sugars: bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, biscuits, waffles, pancakes, muffins, sodas, juice, and that does include alcohol, yogurt, because it has 10 grams of sugar, and of course the juice. So that's really, we need to avoid that to lower insulin. And then we want to spike our greens. Why? Because greens have potassium. Potassium will decrease the need for insulin. In fact, insulin and potassium work really closely together. And if you can actually increase your potassium, you will lower the need for insulin. And also, if you actually fix the insulin, you'll actually start absorbing more potassium too. So they work really closely. And it has to do with the cell and the little potassium sodium pumps that are on there, and also the receptors on the cells. I'm not going to get into that, but if you do spike your greens, you will actually improve that. Okay, that means bigger salads. You can do wheatgrass juice powder, that type of thing as well. All right, now let's talk about cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. The way you know you have cortisol is you are under stress. Your tolerance for stress is low. People get on your nerves easily. You don't sleep that well. You got the belly fat, and it wraps around. So one of the best things is get rid of kind of three main stresses. First of all, the body stress. Your body is like a sponge. It holds stress. It accumulates stress over time. Time does not heal stress, okay? All the old injuries, old infections, just being in a stress state, your body kind of breaks down. So there's a physical technique. So I'm pulling up a picture right now of it being done, and you can do it on your neck. You can do it in different parts of your body, but it's a stress extraction technique using a massage tool that I developed. So you can use that to remove body stress. So every night that you go to sleep, you can make sure you never go to sleep stressed, but stress-free. So mechanically, we want to release the points, the epicenters of all the stress in your body. Okay, that's one. Number two, people stress. Okay, I know you know this, but out of all the things that stress people out are people. Okay, mainly antagonistic people, people that bring you down. So what I like to do is I like to really look in my environment, who is stressing me out the most, and either avoid that person or deal with them or improve the situation. There also could be stress from watching even TV, the news, so don't watch the news. It's just recycled sensation back over and over. They're taking this one point, trying to spin it different ways, different angles. It's okay to get the news, but just make sure you don't keep watching that same point over and over and over. And then you also have the nutritional factors, okay? There are two main nutrients that will help lower cortisol. Number one is vitamin B1. Very, very important, because when you're under stress, you deplete vitamin B1. B1 releases stress. It makes you feel calm. It increases your tolerance for stress. And a lot of people are deficient in B1. And it's because they're doing so many grains and refined sugars. But the best source of B1 would be nutritional yeast. Take a teaspoon a day, and like within about a minute, you'll just feel the difference. It's like quite dramatic. And then, of course, the next one would be potassium. Potassium is good for lowering insulin and cortisol. That comes from a lot of different greens that you can have, vegetables, that type of thing. But that you cannot lower cortisol just by doing a high protein diet or anything like that. You need to add the greens because potassium is a physiological tranquilizer. It's a calming mineral, just like calcium. But potassium, you need so much more, and most people are deficient. Okay, those are that's like 1 and 2. Now, number 3, as far as the exercise goes. Now, there's basically 4 exercises that I'm going to recommend. The first one deals with the extensors and the glutes. I mean, if you think about it, people are doing sit-ups, right? They're doing sit-ups to get rid of their stomach, but they don't reverse the flow. So what is this? The stomach? It's flexor muscles that flex you. So we want to do the opposite muscles. We want to work on the extensors. What are the extensors? The glutes. Okay, the glutes are the extensors and also part of your back muscles. So what you're going to do is you're going to get on your all fours, and you're going to start doing these extensions. And I'm actually showing you a demo right now how to do that. So you want to do that. I would actually not necessarily just do sets. I would do it as long as you can until you get fatigued. Rest for about 3 or 4 minutes. Do it again until you get fatigued, like majorly fatigued, and then do another cycle. Because you might be able to do 25, you might be able to do 35, you might be able to do 7. So that's a good way to judge to see how you're doing, okay? Now the next one is called the side push-up, where you're on your side and you're actually really working your core from a different angle. So when you do this exercise, you're working something called obliques, the side muscles that wrap around. And it's a motion that a lot of people do not even consider they can do, or they've never even worked out. They work just on one dimension sit-up, right? So this gives it another dimension. This will really help tone the waist. Okay, the third one is called the side position and hold. That's the one where you just get on your side and you hold it as long as you can. And then you can go the opposite side as long as you can. Go back and forth. I would do 3 cycles, and I'd probably do that every other day. This one is good because it helps you create stability. It's kind of like a yoga move, but it actually builds up your core, which is your midsection. Now the last one is called the back arch. This is just a straight reversal of a sit-up. It's really good for low back pain, and it's really good for people that do too many sit-ups. You lay on your stomach and you arch back. And again, you're going to do for this one, you'll probably do sets of maybe 12 to 15, 3 sets of that. Make sure you rest maybe 4 minutes in between. But what you want to do is you really want to work that back, get the tone back. We're not necessarily burning calories for this. We're getting the muscles to be more toned, to develop the back muscles, because that is an area that so many people never even work those muscles, so they just start to fall apart. All right? Go ahead and apply this information, and I will see you in the next video.